Witches Hill.
You know what they should do?
What should they do?
Up in like the Wisconsin Dells or somewhere, or like Grand Rapids. Now Grand Rapids would be better.
What?
Have X-Lax called Grand Rapids, and sell only there. It'd convince me. I'm just saying, like, oh, I can't poo. I gotta take this. It's gonna be like Grand Rapids, and then you have your own slip and slide, and it's fucking gross.
That's
just, I don't know.
I mean, it achieves the effect that you're desiring at the time, yes, but
I should save that like conversation until somebody's drinking like a mudslide around me, or like, or eating a hefty piece of chocolate mousse. How about that?
A hefty piece of chocolate mousse.
Yeah, it's on like a really, really hot day, and all they've been drinking is like, I don't know, milk. All they've been drinking, and they're lactose intolerant. Yeah.
You got a lot of demands for this hypothetical situation.
Sometimes you find yourself in the right position at the right time. Yeah. Reverse cowgirl. What? What? I'm not saying that's the position you need to be in to take this Grand Rapid laxative, because I am not going to be part of that. Here you go. You could be my little bass booster. What? I'm just saying. She'd be like a fucking, like, a torpedo. Like NASA. Oh my god. I would call... That's the Elon Musk. That could be the Elon Musk. She turns into fucking SpaceX.
Space Lax?
Space Lax. Blast off to Uranus.
Blast off from Uranus.
Or Uranus. For you intellectuals out there. Pinky out, motherfucker.
Uranus.
Uranus.
Now it just still sounds bad. Now it just sounds like urine. Us.
Yeah. We just send R. Kelly there.
Oh.
I'm on the planet. Now I'm on the planet with you. And then he pees on you.
That just sounds like an unfortunate situation, no matter which way you look at it.
Well, stop looking at it.
He might scream at you.
Yeah, but no one can hear you scream in space, Tim. We've seen aliens. It's true. That and all those missing cosmonauts. True story. Fucked up story. But you know what's also a fucked up story?
Huh.
Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery was...
Choice words.
Yeah, that's really the only choice words I kind of had for it. I mean, it's not like I'm not trying to say that it was bad, but it wasn't necessarily good either. Like, if you know what I mean.
It didn't really hold a candle to, like, the last Stephen King movie that was made, which was, as we all know, It.
Yes, I feel like my mistake was...
Well, I guess...
I mean, a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I find the first chapter of It, the remake that came out in 2017, that movie is fan-fucking-tastic.
I will interject, I just realized what I said was actually wrong. Gerald's Game came out afterwards, like through Netflix, but we're talking about big theatrical releases in theaters. I should probably say that.
Just throwing that in there.
Yeah, so that one person's like, okay.
So I think my biggest problem with Pet Sematary is I went into this movie really expecting that caliber of a movie. And it just kind of, because it did kind of fall short, it seemed like a much of a greater fall than it really was.
Yeah. Yeah,
because it wasn't, like, terrible. By all respects.
I know that the reason why I liked the movie is the reason Diane didn't like the movie. I fucking love John Lithgow.
John Lithgow is great, but she just mainly couldn't... She's kind of like me in the sense where a lot of actors, you know, you don't really learn their real names because you know them by their characters. So when she first sees him in this movie, she's like, oh my god, that's the guy from Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah.
And for the entire time, even I was laughing at it.
No, I completely understand it because I've seen him in like movies beforehand when I really wasn't like paying attention to like who was playing what was going on. And I'd always see him in movies, and I'm just like, oh, that's the dude from Third Rock from the Sun. He's an alien. And, like, I just, that's all I always said it. Like, just like, he's an alien. And now, like, all these years later, I really liked him as that character. And,
yeah,
I don't know, it was appealing to me. That I will note that the child actor, sorry, I don't know the name offhand, but wow, she's really fucking good.
She was pretty good for that, yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to admit, my one gripe with John Lithgow's character was they added in a whole new sense of, like, kind of like a backstory to what was going on in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had this, a bunch of textbooks and writings and newspaper clippings and, like, a story of the Wendigo.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, it
kind of goes without saying, but these are a little few different things than the original that was aired back in, what, the 90s? 80s?
You're talking about
original Pet Sematary.
The original Pet Sematary, yeah, that was 80.
Was it?
Or
was it 90?
80? No, it was 87, maybe?
Something like that. We literally had it written down somewhere.
But even then, because they added all that stuff into it, it almost made me question his reasoning for just saying anything. Because if you have all this evidence saying, like, this is some truly fucked up demonic shit, why are you fucking being like, oh yeah, it's fine. Just,
You know what we should do? Let's bring a cat there.
Yeah, great idea. Oh my god.
And it's kind of fucked up. Okay, so, like, it mentions a Wendigo, and then, like, as they're walking through the goddamn back part of the cemetery, like the soiled land, you start hearing those weird fucking noises, which leads you to believe, like, oh, a Wendigo's out there. What the fuck does this have to play? You know what that reminded me of? Huh. Just because nothing else was brought up again?
Huh.
I have breast cancer. From The Room. Tommy Wiseau, I'm looking at you, dude. What the shit? But it had the same fucking feel, because it was just like, okay, yeah, maybe it's out there. Maybe that's the reason why it's cursed land. Nothing else happens. Nothing.
They don't really go into it.
No. They don't even explain what the fuck a Wendigo is.
I will say that I am holding out on some, because I do find a big gripe in all of that, but I'm holding out. I sadly have not read the book.
Neither have I.
And actually watching this has made me want to read the book in the hopes that, maybe Stephen King went into that and they just didn't really think of a way to put it in the movie.
Mm-hmm. I'm criticizing it because of just, like, one, theatrics in movies, and it's completely different than, like, how books can... Because, you're creating the scenes in your head from the book, so you're holding your own vision of what you think it's going to be compared to somebody who just read the book right next to you. You guys are thinking it's two different things just happening almost the exact same way.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to kind of, like, base it off that. But when you're basing it off a movie that's already been made and they're kind of basing it off of that just kind of raw and just kind of making it like a newer adaptation, you have something to kind of, like, base and almost judge it on.
Yeah.
In a way, for a lack of better words.
So, all that aside, though, it was entertaining. The very end was kind of just like, it's okay. I wouldn't say it was an absolute terrible ending. I know I saw some people post about. I will say, not going to reveal the ending. We might have spoiled a bit, but we're not going to spoil the whole thing.
No.
I would suggest to anyone to go see it. I think I was saying it earlier that I wouldn't necessarily find myself wanting to see it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I would watch it again if it was, like, on Netflix.
Yeah.
If it was free and I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but that's very, very true. There is one Easter egg that is kind of dropped in it.
I loved that. I caught it right away.
Yeah.
That's a big one, at least.
Yeah. As we've said at the beginning of this, is that, it was dropped before. And coming this summer, we have part 2 coming out, and we could not be even more ecstatic about it. However, in this movie, Pet Sematary, there's a part where the camera pans down and you see a sign for Derry, which is only 20 miles away.
Throughout most of the movie, I kept thinking, like, please have it set in Maine. Please keep fucking Stephen King's, like, general theme of having everything set in Maine. Please keep that.
Yeah, because we know what Hollywood does.
Yep, but they did. They fucking did.
Yes, and yeah. So it's got us excited to just be like, oh, like, they're establishing the King universe.
Yeah.
I
love that little nod.
I'm just wondering how many of these videos that they're, or not videos, but the stories that they're actually going to link together and like make it seem like it's all part of one thing. Maybe we'll have weird cameos from other stories or something. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I almost said Stranger Things, but that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking It. But
there was one other thing I wanted to add. I was actually disappointed in the remake. They really downplayed Victor Pascal, the student that got killed. They downplayed his role in this movie. Because in the original, he kept appearing and coming back and giving warnings. And some of the times he obviously couldn't be seen or heard. But like they kind of got the gist of it as like, oh, what was that? But in this one, he didn't really play that big of a role. So I was kind of like, what the fuck, guy?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was just kind of... It was there to warn him, like, stay away. But, like, it was just like that. Just like, you shouldn't do that, bro. Okay, later. And then he just kind of fades away.
Yeah, you see him occasionally. He'll pop back up. Like, the little kid sees him. But he doesn't really say anything. He doesn't play, like, a major role. He had a more important role in the original. So that I was just a little gripey about. But... otherwise. So, I guess, moving on to that, because this kind of has to do with what we were talking about, and I guess, we're 10 minutes in and we haven't even said it. Welcome to Witches Hill.
I'm Pat.
I am Tim.
And we have a plethora of good videos that didn't exactly piss us off like Pet Sematary did.
Yes.
And for those of you who have seen it and had the same type of feelings that we did, we have... you covered on some other ones that will actually make you think twice about, I don't know, turning off the fucking lights or, clapping your hands.
Yeah, we're talking some horror shorts from YouTube. These are just random. I think the longest one is like, 10 minutes?
Something like that. It was around that mark.
But these are along the same lines as some other horror shorts.
Yes.
But this first one that we wanted to talk about was called Clap Clap.
And this is by... I can't even pronounce this if this is a name, but Biskorik.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember reading that to you, and I was like,
BP is Korik? Anyway, we had a rating scale that we wanted to use, and we divided it. So we each gave it a rating 1 out of 10. And a combined total, that is what we established as the official rating scale for this.
For this series,
yes. For at least this series. Yeah. We've done many ratings before, but...
we never seem to stick to one. But that's okay.
We go off of different things. It's really hard.
We evolve based on what we're doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
We overcome, we adapt, we pull a Kirk. So, together, this rating got an 8.
Yes. Clap Clap is the movie about some dude staying over at most likely a friend's place to watch a house, because at the very beginning part of this thing, you see this dude dancing around clapping his hands like, clap on the clapper, and he's like, yeah!
Yeah, I have to admit, the dancing scene was kind of funny.
I was waiting for him to give finger guns.
I know, I kind of was. Just like, hey, but he was sitting there busy dancing around, clapping, having a good old time.
Oh yeah, you could definitely see him having fun. But all of that kind of changes when,
things start going awry.
Yeah. And he looks over at the staircase, and there's literally a demon that...
There's no good way to put this, and I was just kind of like, really? It was a person in a black morph suit with a wig on.
Yeah, and the fingers were supposed to be like elongated, like really long fingers, but when they're clapping their hands, you could see the fingers bending back like either they're stuffed with cotton or something.
It's clearly something just not really substantial with weight. You could see where the fingers end and like whatever this material is underneath begins.
Yes. The execution wasn't exactly an A+, but it is a good thought provoker. I mean, it was a cool idea. Honestly, I really liked the idea. Like, that would be really fucking tweaky. If I was staying over at someone's house and I was watching that, I would probably sit there and think about it for like maybe 20 minutes, like, shit. And
then, I guess the scene where he it appears right next to him, and he falls back. And I'm not kidding. This is, I get that these shorts are done on like extreme budgets, clearly. But he falls back so lightly, but somehow injures his leg so bad that he can't use it, and he's hobbling, and like he can't get off the ground at that point. That's how bad he hurt it, just by lightly falling down.
Not to mention his reaction when falling down. It's not believable.
It really wasn't. I was not convinced in that performance.
But it like we said before, these are videos that you will find more enjoyable than Pet Sematary. Or at least we say so. I found it more enjoyable because...
Okay, well, let me talk about the kill face. That's all I'm going to say. That kill face was just like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not going to say what it is, and I'm not going to go into detail about it. You're just going to have to watch it for yourself. And the meat. The meat was funny.
The meat was kind of funny.
At the very end. I was just like, ha, sweet.
I said it before, I'll say it again. It reminds me of fat bastard shit.
Oh, God.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's fucking
it's
horrible.
So ominous.
But going along with Clap Clap and the little demonic figure that they have, I can't lie that it did kind of have a knockoff feel of Lights Out as Diana, the shadow demon. Yeah,
like kind of like a cheaper version of that.
Yeah, like you got the main brand, and that this is kind of great value.
You know, this was the one that I was kind of hinting at in the beginning when I was like, these are kind of like some of the other great horror shorts, and this is the one that I always think of because Lights Out, not only was it an awesome horror short, which was short, creepy, very effective, that became a full feature film, and the film itself was actually pretty fucking cool.
Not to mention, the woman who played in the original short also reprised a role in the feature film.
Yes.
Which is, it's awesome seeing that, like from the original to motion picture. Fucking amazing.
Yep.
Like both versions of that are just great. And honestly, if you watch it before, like watch the short and then watch the feature film, it almost ties together. If you don't, okay, if you've already seen the Lights Out short, this part's for you. If not, like just don't listen to me right now for like 2 seconds. After she dies, or supposedly at the end when Diana pulls the string. If you don't take that into consideration and then watch the movie, it's cool. It's like, oh, you didn't get her, so she gets her at work. So, like, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that. But
okay.
That's Lights Out.
That's Lights Out. That one we highly suggest. You got to see the short. You got to see the feature film.
Yeah, in a way, the short almost creeped me out more. It had more of a very, very unsettling feel, like an isolated thing.
Yeah.
And it just gives more meaning to, like, never look over your shoulder. And don't look back! So, now to go on to another horror short. Now this one was called The Moonlight Man. And, fuck, my butt. This is by Danny Donahue.
Danny Donahue.
On YouTube!
Now this one, we collectively gave this out of 20 a score of 7.
Oh shit, did we not give the other one?
No, we did.
Well, what would you rate Lights Out, the original one? We didn't rate that one. I really liked it. I would honestly give that one a 9.
Yeah, same. So I guess that would have gotten a rating of 18.
Alright, cool. I'm cool with that. Personally.
So this next one, this one we collectively gave a score of 7, which is a little less than the last one, but This was called The Moonlight Man. Now this one, again, in the beginning, it kind of had a feel like Lights Out meets The Babadook.
Oh, very Babadook feelings. If you like The Babadook, you probably like this one.
Yes. It kind of had like a character that just from a distance and from the shadows seems very similar.
Oh yeah, it's one of the shadow creatures that just kind of like waits in pure darkness and waits for you to be vulnerable, or at least alone.
Now overall, I would say that I did like the way that it was shot. You know, it was shot pretty good throughout the whole thing, but I feel like the biggest problem that I have with some of these shorts is the acting is never really that believable. It's like just certain situations, people just seem just like it's not believable.
I mean, she was a good actor. It's just situationally, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, okay, the whole scene where she dropped her keys in the car while she was trying to get in the car. First off, you clearly see that she actually like throws them.
Yeah,
like,
she just lets go of the keys.
I had to point that out. Like, okay, she just clearly dropped that right there. And then while she's freaking out in the car, she has her phone, startles and just kind of throws the phone up, but it lands so neatly and perfectly underneath the seat, like underneath her seat, perfectly.
Still facing up, light on.
Yeah, so I was just like, what?
I did have a few notes that I did take on about this. Is that one? It's kind of cheesy. In all honesty, there's not much to the film itself other than the atmospherical effect of you don't want to be alone, let alone that's weird. Anyway, when you're in a parking lot at night and there's no cars around you feel isolated, but then you see one other person. It doesn't matter if they're walking to their car or not, you're going to be like, oh shit, another person. But this, like we said, had a Babadook feel, and yet she was like, oh, another person. Like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, you just get to, like, hop in your car and just, oh, I should probably call someone. And then you drop your phone and you're like, oh, no, the door unlocks. I better go around slowly while turning my back to everything as you slowly see the Babadook fucking figure type thing walking behind her.
Yeah.
Like, that to me was very cheesy. But it did...
It did build the atmosphere pretty well. Like, yes. I will admit, I was pretty creeped out for it.
Yes.
The last thing I want to say is, again, the face of this thing. It clearly CGI. It was kind of creepy.
It was creepy.
It was creepy, but overall, it just seemed kind of lame. Like,
it was better than Clap Clap.
Yes, I will say the face was a lot better. Again, you're going to have to watch Clap Clap to know what I'm talking about.
But honestly, if you changed the Babadook and changed its hat and changed its like hand or face, the hat and the face, you have this character. Is essentially what this is.
Well, he also had like claws.
So did Babadook.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's got like long fingers. It was weird. It was like long carrots.
You're like throwing out the horns.
Yeah. But I will also say that this makes me hate trunks and emptying parking lots. But the last thing I want to say is that, okay, yeah, you may have found a fucking flashlight. Why the fuck did you get out of your car? You had your phone underneath your seat.
Yeah.
Reach back in, grab it, and if you didn't want to call the police because you just didn't want to have them come out there because you might feel awkward or something, you could have called an Uber. And no, this movie wasn't taking place in like 1995. This was released in 2016. So, just saying, like there's plenty of options.
I mean, I drive for Uber. I'd pick you up.
Don't get in the car with him. He'll kill you.
No, I will save you from what will kill you. I got a good fucking rating, damn it. People like me.
You should see the look he's giving me right now.
Stay quiet.
I wish they could see you.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This next one up the list is titled Don't Move. Collectively, we gave this one out of 20 a score of 11.
Da. If you don't like elevators, don't watch this.
Yeah, it does have one creepy elevator scene. I mean, the actor, again, this is one that the biggest gripe I have with it is the believability of this actor. But I feel like this actually was probably, the acting was almost worse than the last two. If I could be truly honest. I mean, I said it in the beginning. He reminds me of someone specific that we will not name. And so the whole time I'm just picturing this person. Now that's kind of a personal thing. And I'm not griping about the movie because of that. But as things start happening, his reaction is just so, like...
Kristen Stewart.
Very forced, very no emotion to it.
Kristen Stewart. I'm sorry, I don't mean to rag on her, but like back in the day, like she was a pale. I don't mean like she looked pale. I mean like she was a pale, like a pail of water, but without the water.
Just a pail.
Just a pail.
Oh. Just shrugs.
Yeah, just shrug. Sorry, sorry, not sorry.
So again, this kind of did really take a lot away, which I was a little bit sad about. I did like the way it was shot, though.
Oh yeah, cinematically, it was very well off.
They really made up for the fact that this main actor is pretty fucking terrible at his job. They really made up for it with the way it was cinematic.
How well? Yeah, but I mean, like I like making movies and stuff like that, but I will also say like, not every one of my actors has been on top notch, and yeah, that is to blame on my part.
Well, I've been there throughout the whole process for everything, so I get what you're saying.
Mostly everything.
I get what you're saying. But I just think.
I mean, all I was leading into is that like the director could have found somebody else if they saw it the way that we did. Unless that was their intention of finding someone like that, then bravo, you did it. But
I mean, come on, you fall down, you're being chased by... I mean, I was calling it when we were first watching it. I'm just like, oh man, this is a zombie scenario? Me and you would know exactly what to do. We would be getting the fuck away. He falls down outside of a door and just stays there staring at the door. What are you doing? Move. You don't wait until it's starting to open the door to get up and try to get away. You got caught because of that.
Maybe the director went for more of like getting like a cinematic effect, but accidentally drew it out too long. Because I could see what he was going for. Like if it was to be fast, like dude falls down, he rolls back, turns around, and then sees the thing automatically coming right there. He turns and then gets up and runs. But if you draw it out too long, it looks like he's like doing that whole fucking like shaky head thing, like no.
You mean that one guy from Italian Spider-Man?
Yes. Respect women.
Oh god, if you guys don't know what Italian Spider-Man is, it is terrible.
Look it up. It's so fucking terrible, and it's so misogynistic. It is bad.
It is very bad.
But if you want to waste time, give it a look. You'll hate it. And you'll hate yourself a little bit afterwards too.
Yeah, we can all hate ourselves a little bit more together.
Yes, just be proud that you didn't make that.
Now, like, and the last thing I want to put out for Don't Move was I loved the sound design. They really did a good job with the sound design as well, and really kind of building up those tense moments.
It was very James Wan-esque, how he does it with his movies like Insidious and stuff.
Yeah.
But going along with the elevator thing, I've seen many a movie and many pranks where people do it literally what happened at the end of this movie. And it's just something creepy in the elevator, either behind you or in front of you, whatever. And it's almost the exact same thing. It's just... the only thing that's different about it is that it's in front of you this time.
I mean, the biggest thing is, at the end, the elevator opens up. Man, okay, I get you're freaked out, but you're in the perfect position to check that motherfucker and run. The elevator's open, you're on the ground floor, you can flee.
But what if it's a demon? What if it bites your elbow?
I'm still taking a chance. I'm not sitting in an elevator waiting for the elevator doors to close.
Oh, I wouldn't wait either, but I also, I would probably just try to, dive out of it as the doors are closing.
I mean, but if you hit the door, it's going to open again. So, you're really in the same boat again.
Yeah, I guess it's a gamble.
Either way, just try to check your way out of it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
So, yeah, I mean, if you don't like being in small spaces or anything like that, claustrophobic, you'll definitely hate the ending of this movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But let's move on. By the way, that movie was actually made by Eddie Adamson, or at least that's the YouTube handle, Eddie Adamson.
Now, before we get on to the next one, let's take a quick break and hear a word from Nancy.
Nancy, let's see what you've got going on. Are you moving into a new home or remodeling a home or office? Are you trying to sell a home but can't seem to find the right people to buy it? Does the energy in certain parts of the home or office feel uncomfortable, spooky, stuck, or blocked? Do you feel your own personal growth, healing, and evolution has stymied? Has there been sudden pain or illness you can't explain? Has there been any deaths? Is anyone having trouble sleeping, restless children in bed, or night terrors? Is there a lot of fighting and bad experiences with the home or office? Do you ever see moving shadows, flying objects, hear voices, or smell weird odors? Do your appliances or machines break down or have mechanical issues often? Do you seem to be having a string of bad luck? If you've answered yes to any of the following questions, please consider getting a clearing by us. Please contact Reverend Nancy for a quote at 630-340-0877 or her partner Amanda at 719-271-7309.
I loved the whole process of going through all of these movies.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was really fun to just spend an afternoon scrolling YouTube and just finding all these different horror shorts and just sitting there and getting giddy for every single one. And then, of course, there's a few of them that we're not going to discuss, but there's a few of them that we each gave it like a 1.
It was so bad.
Bad. Oh, it was so bad. But you know what? I loved the whole process of seeing all the good ones and all the bad ones.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's some really fucking cheesy ones out there. But I do want to plug 2 things really quick. I just want to plug 2 things. One is actually another short. I forgot offhand what it is, but if you type in The Joker on YouTube, not the new movie that's coming out, or maybe it's just Joker. It's a short horror film. The dude's in like an orange suit and he's got cards. Just watch it. I really, really like that one. It was very creative. It was very well executed. The atmosphere fit the feeling of the movie, and all around makes you uncomfortable, even when you're in a social setting. So I highly recommend that. 2, there's one thing on Netflix that I even suggest to you, Tim. I binged a shit ton of it the other night. It's called Love, Death, and Robots.
You're not the first person to tell me to do that.
Dude, fucking watch it. Seriously, it is so fucking good. It's dark as shit.
Okay. I'll definitely.
If you want one episode to watch 3 robots. It's like a Pixar movie, but geared towards like really dark people.
So like us.
Yes.
Oh.
And you like cats, so it's all good. I'm not going to say what that means, and if you've already seen it and you heard me say that, I'm tipping my hat to you.
So let's go on now, without further ado, to the next one. And now this one was, I thought, pretty interesting. This is called Vanilla Cake.
The cake's a lie, Tim. Stop it.
The cake actually wasn't a lie, just saying.
Alright, that's my YouTube handle, Crystal Pastis.
Now this one we also collectively gave this a score out of 20 on 11.
Yes.
The first thing I want to say about this, I loved that the second I'm thinking, oh, fuck you, you need to die, it happens. That made me so happy.
Yeah. It's a very unsettling situation from the get-go. Like right off the bat, you can already tell like something's off.
Something's very off.
By the son's expression on his face, his demeanor, and how the mom is carrying herself and just absolutely oblivious to everything around her and what her son actually feels and so on and so forth. And the story takes a really, really dark turn, even after the events that take place in the first 2 minutes.
Well, the first 2 minutes, the things that the mom started saying was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, she's a real see you next Tuesday.
Oh my god, she was quite the character.
Yeah, she really needed to take a cement bath.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
She's an atrocious human being, but like anybody who's like that, well, I'm sure she gets her just desserts, but how does that happen?
Because she doesn't like chocolate cake.
What a bitch.
What a bitch.
She got what she was... She
got what she deserved.
Exactly.
Her just desserts.
I'm taking away your piece of cake.
No.
And replacing it with vanilla cake. No!
No!
Shank. Ow!
I guess the kid really did not like vanilla cake.
To a whole fucking extreme.
I'll say.
It's like Rake Jan not liking mustard.
Yeah, except more deadly.
Oh, far more deadly.
Oh boy.
But that's just a little bit of vanilla cake for you. Obviously, it has a really fucked up twist towards the end. It is a little cliche, but overall, it is unsettling. It is worth a watch.
Yeah,
definitely.
I would say all of these, honestly, no matter
all
how
of them
good
are.
or how terrible, they're all worth a watch.
Oh yeah, it all depends on like what your flavor of horror is, because horror is all over the fucking board. Anything that might get underneath your skin. Shit, some people are afraid of Godzilla or pigs
Or pigs with panties.
or moist panties on pigs
Moist pig panties.
with clown paint.
Oh man, that's like the third or fourth time we've like mentioned that.
Relentless.
So let's move on to the next one.
Yes.
This one is titled OK Google.
Okay, Google.
OK Google. Okay. This one collectively we gave it a score of 13.
Yes, and this one is YouTube handle Let's Talk Movies.
Now I will say they really achieved like a really, really great creepy sense and atmosphere throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, the atmosphere is absolutely pristine. The build-up is really good. I really liked it.
It was done very simply.
Oh, yes.
Very simply, very effective.
There's only really two things I really have to say against the movie itself. One, it has a little bad lighting.
Yes.
I mean, cinematically, it's still good. It still sets everything. You can still see everything, but it's a little on the dark side.
Yeah, and a little bit more lighting would have definitely brought up the production value. It would have made everything a little more crisp and clear.
Yeah, but I think that kind of gives the feeling that it was going for it. Maybe if it was a little bit more brighter, maybe it wouldn't have given us the sense of dread that we felt while watching it.
Yes.
You know?
I think, you are limited to certain things.
Yeah, and if you have Alexa at home, one of those machines, you should definitely watch this movie.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone wants those things.
Yeah.
And just watching this just made me think, yeah, I definitely don't want one.
But if you want to hear one reason to see OK Google, at least for me, it's to hear the stupid Alexa demon voice at the very end. It is like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I do have one more little thing that I need to add onto this, and this is exactly how I wrote the note. Fuck yeah to the psychedelic furs. I was so happy at that moment, and I was like, yeah!
Love my way, bruh.
Love my way is a new
I'm doing the stripper dance from Vice City.
fucking Vice City, baby. Wave 103.
My boys wear more makeup than the girls.
Smashing. Oh god, and yeah, it's great. It's a great little fucking thing in there that I just absolutely love.
Channeled our inner Adam first there.
All right.
Next one is at number 7. We have Monitor.
Now Monitor, who did Monitor?
I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this the right way, but it looks like Omeleto, Omeleto.
This one we collectively gave it a score out of 20 of 14.
Yeah, so 1 and a 4.
Now this one was very interesting.
We're a little split on this one, you and me.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just on a few different things. Now, it follows this clerk guy who clearly is just like, whatever. I mean, he doesn't really care about his job, and that was definitely very believable about it, especially when he's just like, oh, you know what? Here's a Mr. Soda. Was it called Mr. Soda or Mr. Pop?
Oh, I don't know what it fucking was.
I think I just triggered some people with the whole debate of soda and pop.
Soda pop. It's literally the same fucking thing. Get over it.
Exactly. Who cares? I call it different things different days. But he just grabs it and then checks the cap and then just puts it back. It's like, you fucking dick.
Yeah, he opens it. He's like, fuck it, I'll put it back. I don't care. But I mean, it's also like the fact that it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. At least what I would I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like it's got to be at this time.
Yeah, like no one's around, no one's coming in. He's just kind of like, he almost looks like he's gonna like fall asleep if he doesn't stop moving around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, so the one thing that we disagreed about was he starts seeing something odd in the video monitors.
Yeah, that's not actually there, but when he looks in the video monitors, it's there.
And yeah, it's just this guy, and he starts just freaking the dude out. Mm-hmm. And this whole scene, everything about it, it was very believable. Dude's, in my opinion, he reacted how I would imagine someone in that situation to react.
Yeah, I mean, I would be a little bit more like on edge, but definitely I liked his acting for said situation.
Now the very end is what we disagreed on.
Yes.
Now, what didn't you like about the ending?
It was lackluster.
You just the way you put it earlier was that you just didn't believe how he reacted to that very last.
Well, yeah, because I mean, he's looking into the monitor, and he's backing up to where he sees dude in the monitor, but in real life, there's no one there. However, when he turns and swings, there's somebody there, and so he throughout the whole movie, it's just showing like somebody dead on the fucking ground and like got beat with a baseball bat, and then he ends up actually doing that. Now, in many like psychological movies, there's always some type of thing that you see, like, oh, you can't get to this point. You have to avoid at all costs getting to this point. And that was kind of like what it was going for, but in a really quick setting.
Yeah.
I don't really like the way that was executed. I thought that for a really deep psychological impact, maybe make it a little bit longer to kind of like draw the person in, maybe give it a little bit more, because if you're working alone and you don't see anybody in the store, are you really going to take a chance at just swinging wildly behind you and maybe destroying some shit that your boss is going to fucking fire you over?
I will admit, there was a time that I was working a night shift at Walmart, and this was a Walmart that at the time was closed during the night, and I was the person that was in the back bringing all the stuff up from the warehouse so people could stock the shelves. Mm-hmm. And I'm in this back by myself, and there's this one specific wing that everyone always claimed was haunted, and like stuff would move and I would hear boxes falling down when I'm back there by myself, and I do admit I would be on edge. So to me it was a little bit believable. I guess, I definitely do agree with you when it comes to the whole swinging the bat. Just that's your first reaction, like, that's what? I mean, I would jump the fuck back.
Oh yeah, that's completely fine. Also, like you said, like you were in the back warehouse. This dude was a front counter in like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
A little different.
Well, I'd say more like a gas station, but 7-Eleven, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, certain 7-Elevens have gas stations.
So that one was Monitor.
Yeah, that was Monitor by Amuleto, but I mean, overall, it's unique in its own right, but I will say that is a stupid fucking mask. Of all things that you could have had, you should have had something else, or at least, like, I get the whole, like, trying to be different and not using a typical mask or anything, but if you wanted something with bulging eyes, you probably could have got something better.
Yeah, I mean, it was unique. It's not like it was a generic mask or anything like that. It was definitely unique, but it definitely had a kind of stereotypical look, I guess.
It was very, like, it just looked like it was paper mache, and it's just like, it didn't have like a horror effect on me as like, oh, you should be scared, you should be like scared of me, or like question it. The only thing I questioned was like, how is that sticking to your face? Yeah. Like, is it plastered on? Like, those were the questions I was immediately asked myself. It wasn't, oh, who's that? Am I gonna die? You know?
Yeah.
Anywho, that's good. Let's move on to other things like Larry.
Larry was the next one, and this one, who is this by?
Jafyets 13, Jafyats 13 on YouTube.
No, collectively we gave this one a 16.
Yes.
This one was pretty fucking cool. I actually really liked this one.
Yeah, this one was written, directed, and starring Jacob Chase. Apparently, this movie would... I didn't know all the details about it, but apparently this is going to become a feature film.
Yes, there was a person, I think a production company, has purchased the rights, and Chase is actually going to be the writer and director. It's not going to follow the same thing, but it's going to be kind of pretty much based
He can build off his own idea, which is great.
Exactly.
It's awesome. It's his own idea that he gets to build upon. It's not like he's giving it to somebody else. Yeah, they're going to collect certain rights and shit, but it's cool that he's going to be the one that's executing it. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And this is... It has kind of like a Babadook feel, as like he sees something, starts reading it, and then he looks up and there's something off in the distance that you can't see. It's in a shadow, but it's like this monster form type thing, and the way it like gets closer to him and the way he's interacting with his surroundings, it's so unbelievably unnerving.
It's very unsettling.
If you are a security guard and you're alone, watch this one. This one is definitely for you. It was like made just for you.
Yeah, definitely fucking tweaky as balls. And the acting, so believable. Like,
yeah.
I actually really believed the acting in this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jacob Chase, you executed this one very, very well.
Yes.
Very well.
That just proves, it is possible on a low budget. You just gotta pay attention.
Oh, dude, look at Kevin Smith, dude.
Ah.
I love that man. I don't care what fucking anybody says.
So, I'm excited to see what this one could become.
Oh, yes.
Just because this one is going to be a feature film.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they call it just Larry. I really do. I love the name. It's fucking great. I will definitely see a movie called Larry.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But he just wants a friend. Will you be Larry's friend?
Okay, that's fucked up, because that's just like Child's Play, and I know what happens in Child's Play. So, yes, I'll be Larry's friend.
All right. You like to dance on the wild side.
No, fuck yeah. Larry won't stop touching me.
Stop it, Larry. Get your finger out of there.
All right, so now let's go to the next one.
Which is an unbelievably fucked movie. I feel so bad for this fucking kid in this movie. This movie's called Father. It's by Chris Keller on YouTube.
This one collectively got a score of 17 out of
Yes.
20. This one we fucking loved. This one is fucking great.
If your mom is a whore, this one is for you.
Now, that's the one thing, the one gripe I had about this was the fact that the mom is having the most, like, loud and obnoxious sex, knowingly having her kid awake and right next door, and it's like, there's parts where it just gets louder, and it's like, throughout the entire thing, you're gonna hear this bitch get down.
Yeah, she's getting nailed through the beginning and end of this movie. And the funny thing is that, like, you see her, like, slowly walking up the stairs, making out with this dude, and her kid is just standing there. Before anything is established, I just say, Mom, stop bringing home drunk guys from the bar. And what the fuck happens? She starts talking to her kid, and she's like, oh, you gotta go into the fucking, go to your room. And he's like, Mom! And she goes in the other room and fucks some dude from a bar.
Yeah.
But there's a fucking demon in the house. Some type of fucking, like, I don't know.
I guess he's like the father figure, but he's a lot worse.
He's unbelievably worse. He's a bad father.
Well, I mean, bad mother, too. The mother's clearly neglecting the hell out of her kid. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to slut shame. You want to go out and bang a bunch of dudes from the bar? More fucking power to you. I don't fucking care. But if you got a kid and that's what you're doing, you really need to take a good look at your life decisions.
If let's put it this way, if you're trying to fucking fuck over your child, then you're a bad fucking person. I don't care what anybody says. If you're choosing fucking dick or pussy over your fucking kid, fuck you.
Yeah.
That's really all it comes down to.
Take care of your kid.
Yeah, and if your kid is being haunted by a fucking demon, listen to them.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, because
for everyone's sake, just listen to your damn kid.
Yeah, because this kid goes through some shit. He's got some balls, but dude, he is...
Now, okay,
oh my god.
The one thing I noticed about this, because I know this was another disagreement that we did have about this, was the way the kid reacted to this creature. Now, this creature moves very fucking creepily.
Yes.
And he moves only when the kid blinks. And yeah, he's very jerky as he's sitting there, but if he blinks, he rushes forward at you.
Yeah.
And the way the kid is reacting, like, he's clearly, visibly freaking out from this, but he's also kind of staying calm. Now, he pulls up his tablet at one point, and you see a hand-drawn picture of this creature. That, to me, is telling me, okay, this kid has clearly seen this thing for a while. He knows what it looks like, that he's drawn it out. Maybe that's why he's trying to reach out to his mom. Because he's saying, look, I'm being haunted by this fucking thing, but she's not taking our advice and listening to her kid.
It's possible, but it also could be maybe he drew it to life. Maybe that's
another option.
Like a tulpa type thing.
He could have created the tulpa.
Yeah, maybe that's his way of dealing with, maybe it's a metaphorical film, kind of like the Babadook. Maybe it's a metaphor for his dad not being around, and because he's not around, he feels threatened by male figures, and so that character keeps coming to him when he can't see when he can't see what's in front of him.
Yeah,
it could be a metaphorical film, but either way, the way it was executed was very, very well. The only thing I had a problem with is when the thing's literally an inch from the kid's face, and the kid decides to get closer to reach for something. That's not a typical reaction from anyone. To okay, well, I'll just go over here. But it also with the drawing, we don't have any pre-established thing. Yeah. Yes. So I mean, he could have already if you already encountered it before, that would explain okay, he knows what to do type of thing. Except for that very end when he Now we're not going to give away the complete ending, but
yes, because again, you guys need to see this one. Again, this is called Father,
and this is by Chris Keller.
You need to see this one. It's so fucking good.
It is. It is. And I think at this point we can move on to the final movie that we watched, and this one we gave a 10/10.
The collective score of 20 out of 20.
Yep.
This one we fucking loved.
Absolutely. From beginning to end, it was so original. It was creative. It had twists and turns.
Cinematically beautiful.
Yeah. The acting was on point.
Yes.
Yep.
This one's called The Doll Maker.
This is by Alter.
This is, like we said, this is a really original idea. It's about this old eccentric gentleman who, if a loved one dies, he can essentially create a doll, just like this person. He just needs a few specific items, and then he comes and brings you this doll, and when you touch this doll, the doll comes to life.
Yeah. But it has to be within, your home or the where the energy is, the strongest, and when you walk outside,
it turns back into a doll.
Yeah, no matter what you do.
Yep.
And all of this comes at a price. Oh, and a few rules that you cannot break. And
actually, it was only one rule.
Was it?
Yeah. Well, besides the fact that you can't bring him outside.
Well, yeah, I was saying that, and the fact that the time.
He gives him this hourglass, and he's like, you can only stay with you. The longest you can stay with this doll is 1 hour.
Yeah.
Once this hourglass is empty, you need to put this doll back in its crate, and you can't touch it for 24 hours.
Yeah, for an entire day. It needs to rest up.
And we're not going to explain why. Because this movie, it is the most deserving of a fucking watch.
Yes. Yes, it's... a few of these movies have actually won awards, this one along with it, so... I mean, if that's not enough to compel you to see a good horror movie, well, why the hell are you still watching Pet Sematary?
I like how we're getting back to that.
Full circle.
So yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. We're clearly gushing about it, but I want to give them a little more.
Well, I mean, the Doll Maker, it's just, it's unique. It's like a really adult version of a Goosebumps story almost.
Kind of. I could definitely see a watered down version of this as a Goosebumps episode.
Or Are You Afraid of the Dark episode?
Yeah. But this one, seriously, the acting was great. And there were some great twists.
It's definitely thought-provoking and...
original. I can't stress that enough. I truly felt like this was an original idea. First one I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, this is one of the first that we came across, and it got us going. You're just like, all right, let's watch more horror movies.
Unfortunately, we didn't find any that were quite as good, but that's okay. That's besides.
Father.
Yeah.
Father is right there with me. I don't care. It's just a super fucked story.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen anything quite like that. I mean, all of these are original in their own right. All of them, like we said, are deserving of a watch. Especially after watching Pet Sematary. It's kind of like drinking something. You're just like, I like the flavor, but I don't like the aftertaste. So you need to drink something else. Well, this is that after drink from Pet Sematary. So have yourself a drink.
And enjoy.
Yes. And as always, you guys should subscribe. Hit that bell so that way you guys can stay notified. And, follow us on fucking Facebook at / WitchesHillRadio.
And then we got Twitter, we got Instagram, we got all the bullshits.
On Instagram, you can follow me at Let's Talk Horror.
So yeah, until next time, stay tuned for all the new and creepy and awesome that is horror.
Definitely.
Said that interestingly.
If you have any other suggestions, you guys can email it to us or just go on over to our group page and, just comment, share links, do whatever.
What's our email? We have an email?
I don't check it. It's WitchesHillRadio@gmail.com, Tim.
Oh.
I was just on there like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I was writing back to people.
Well, I guess this is it then.
Yes, until next time, friends. We'll see you on Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Byesies.
Boy.
Don't kill.
Witches Hill.